Between the Mariners and the Red Sox last night, it wasn't the Red Sox who looked like they had just traded their best hitter. Let's talk about it. Colby, hit it.
You are Locked On Mariners, your daily Seattle Mariners podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Ahoy, sailors. It is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. This is Teddy Gonzalez and Colby Patnode for the Locked On Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. As always, if you want to hear from me and Colby even more and help support the show, you can check out our Patreon. All you have to do to check that out is click the link in the description of this episode. Mariners get shut out 2-0 last night. We'll talk about everything from that game, including Logan Gilbert's return. We'll also discuss what's on tap for the final two games of this series. But let's rewind back to the bottom of the third inning last night. Dominic Canzone, Ben Williamson, and Cole Young all collect singles off of Lucas Giolito to load the bases. Nobody out for the top of the Mariners lineup, J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh. So surely the Mariners scored at least one run in that situation, maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, like J.P. Crawford when he hit the grand slam on Sunday, right? Instead, they walked away with nothing because J.P., Julio, and Cal proceeded to have the three worst possible at-bats you could have in that situation. They all strike out. They all look awful while doing it. And that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the night. Now, Julio and Cal had an opportunity for redemption a lot later on in the game. It's still 2-0. Of course, that was the final score. And Cole Young, J.P. Crawford, both of those guys, they walk against Red Sox reliever Greg Weissert. Julio then lines out softly to Ceddanne Rafaela in center field. Cal strikes out again. He was terrible last night. And then Jorge Polanco pops out foul territory to end that threat and pretty much end any chance the Mariners had of winning that game last night. Yay. The sports sucked last night, folks. On top of watching the Mariners lose this game, I also watched the Pacers lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Should be pretty obvious why I would be rooting for the Pacers in that situation. Now the Thunder are on the doorstep of winning the NBA Finals, and simultaneously on my other screen, I had to watch the Mariners get shut out by Lucas Giolito in the year of our Lord 2025. So I am doing great right now.
Not only get shut out, also strike out 10 times in 6 innings against him.
Yeah, 15 strikeouts in total for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
A very 2024-esque performance from this offense.
Sometimes the game is like incredibly complex and there's like a number of factors that you look at and you say, well, this could have gone this way. They could have lost or they could have won it here, blah, blah, blah. Last night's game was incredibly simple. Your pitching was really good. Your three best players had an opportunity to tie or win the game twice in the same game. You don't get that often.
Yeah.
And they failed both times. And not only did they fail both times, they epically failed. They had the worst at-bats you could possibly imagine in those spots, particularly Cal Raleigh. Now, Cal's been so great for most of this year, like all but like 3 weeks, that it's hard to criticize him because people will be like, oh, well, what do you, blah, 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 right? They get upset because they think you're saying because he had a bad game, he's a bad player. Obviously, Cal Raleigh is not a bad player. No. Obviously not.
Still having an insane year.
Right. He has been bad for the last week.
It was going to happen, by the way.
Right.
He wasn't going to consistently for 162 games be the hottest hitter.
We talked about this.
Not named Aaron Judge. Yeah.
We knew it was going to happen. That doesn't mean that when it does happen, you ignore it or you don't call it out. Cal Raleigh had an unacceptably bad game last night.
Yeah.
Because he had opportunities to get the Mariners on the board without even getting a hit.
Yeah.
And he struck out.
Cal will be the first one to say that. Too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course he will. He was awful last night, and he was not very good in this last series. He wasn't very good in Arizona. He's had a bad week. The numbers back that up. Now, they got robbed of a home run by Gurriel in Arizona. He had a double off the wall in the first game against Cleveland that could have been a home run in, normal conditions. So It's not like he hasn't. He's still drawing.
It's bad. It's bad for his standards, I guess we could say.
A lot. He's having a lot more bad at bats. He's missing more cookies. The league is adjusting to him, and he'll have to make his adjustment too. But we're not going to sit here and pretend like Cal Raleigh wasn't the biggest problem last night. For one game, Cal Raleigh was the biggest problem on this team.
It was him and Julio. Yeah, they were both god awful last night.
I expect more from Cal because he's having the year that he's having. But
Cal,
still,
Cal at the very least had 2 hard hit balls last night. Julio went over 4 with nothing to show for it. Yeah,
right. But hard hit balls are.
I know. I get it. You get what I'm saying, though, right? Like there wasn't even quality contact from Julio.
No. But
yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's like Cal had a terrible game last night, and Cal and Julio lost you that game. Period.
Yeah,
it really is that simple, guys. And sometimes, that's going to happen. Your best player is not always going to come through. Aaron Judge doesn't get the hit every single time when he needs to, right?
Yeah.
Like that happens to everybody. So I'm not sitting here bashing Cal and Julio, but we just need to, call the spade. Like Cal and Julio lost you that game last night. The pitching was good enough.
Yeah.
And while the rest of the offense wasn't good enough, that's why you pay Cal and that's why you pay Julio to be the guy when they get in that spot. They're the rising tide, right? They lift all the ships.
Yeah.
They didn't. They fell flat on their face last night. The Mariners lost because of it. And that's really the only analysis that's needed. Because if those two guys just do their job twice, you win that game. And it doesn't matter that, Rowdy Tellez went 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 or whatever, right? Like it doesn't matter what happened because, hey, your stars played like stars, so you won that game.
Sure.
Your stars played like AA players seeing major league pitching for the first time, so you lost that game.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom of the lineup was actually fine last night. Again, Canzone, Williamson, Young, they had the 3 consecutive hits to set the table for the top of the lineup. Young also walked. Yeah. To, create that extra opportunity in the 8th inning. Yeah, it's just the top of the lineup lost you the game last night. Simple as
JP, Julio, Cal, and Randy. Right? Your 4 most talented position players.
Yeah.
They went 0 for 2 with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So they went 0 for 14 with 8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's why you lost. Period.
Yeah. And Jorge Polanco wasn't that much better either, right? He had, 1 hit.
The 1 hit.
He goes 1 for 4. He also has a strikeout. So just
also 2 hard hit balls though, if you want to play the hard hit ball game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, in general, your 1 through 5 went what?
1 hit.
1 for 18 on the night with 9 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's how you lost the game.
Sometimes the meaning is or sometimes the answer is right in front of your face and it doesn't require any deeper dive. Like that's why the Mariners lost, period.
Yeah. And it's not even like they were really unlucky or anything like that. Nope. 163 expected batting average, same as the Red Sox last night. It's just
they were terrible.
The Red Sox were able to get a couple of runs. You weren't. And that's the story.
Yep.
Very simple. All right. Let's talk about Logan Gilbert. He made his return to the rotation last night. Looked pretty good. Go over that in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode, well, all right, we'll see why you're doing your little face in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. For instant reactions following every Mariners game, be sure to tune in to the Mariners postcast with Anderson Hurst and Christopher Crawford, available on both the Locked On Mariners YouTube and podcast feeds. We'd give you an update, as we usually do, here at the top of segment 2 on our Feeding America fundraiser, but none of you have donated since our last episode.
Just going to say, you guys are more ice cold than the Mariners bats.
Ooh.
Yeah. Trying to feed America here, jerks. Okay. Yeah. So donate. Use the link in the description. Donate $10.
That's right.
Feed 100 people.
That's right.
Feel good about yourself. Collect a dub tonight. It's really a simple formula, guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel also, because then Ty and I donate 10 cents at a lump sum. And that is the one thing that has steadily gone up. Our the subscribe thing is generating kind of hidden donations. But yeah, 1 in 5 children don't know where their next meal is coming from, guys. 50 million people don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Should we play the Sarah McLachlan song?
Maybe.
In the
maybe.
arms of
We have
an
been
angel.
stuck below 5,000 for like the last, 4 or 5 days when we've had a good shot to break it.
That's right.
And you guys are like Cal Raleigh in the 3rd inning last night.
We're guilting you. Guilt.
Yeah, because it worked so well yesterday.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess Ty and I just care more about starving children than the average person. But it's fine. It's fine. Thank you to all those who have donated and do care.
That's right.
But no, it seriously, guys, Feeding America is a great organization. Again, $1 feeds 10 people. That is massive. Clicking the subscribe button creates 1 meal for somebody who needs it. There are a lot of ways to help here, and no donation is too small. So please let's get going again. Let's get this. Let's give Ty and I a reason to want to record an episode after games like yesterday. So we'd be like, well, at least we raised $180, so that's good. Yeah. Anyways, guys, link is in the description. You know the drill by now.
Yes.
Please share the link with your coworkers, your family, your friends, whatever. That would also help out if you've already donated. If you haven't donated yet, just like I said, $5 feeds 50 people. It really is an incredible bang for your buck, and Feeding America really is an incredible cause. So hope you guys donate. And again, thank you to all those who already have, and all those who have subscribed, and everybody who's helped in any way with the fundraiser. We're still doing well overall. It's just, things have slowed down the last couple of days. So
yeah. Get on it, people, or else the Mariners won't ever win again.
Mm-hmm. How about a bunch of $26 donations to celebrate Cal's 26 home runs? Not that he's hit one in the last week, but whatever.
How about $27 donations to summon the next Cal Raleigh home run?
How about $21 donations to celebrate Logan Gilbert's return and the number of whiffs he had last night?
Ooh, I like that segue. That's a good one. Yeah, let's talk about Gilbert's return to the rotation. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs on 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, just 1 walk, just 3 hard hit balls from Red Sox bats against Logan. It had been a little while since Baseball Savant Statcast had seen Logan Gilbert, because they misclassified a lot of his pitches and then had to kind of go back and change them a little later on. Like it said, for a while he hadn't thrown a splitter through his first 4 innings, and then it changed it, and it was like, actually he's thrown 8 splitters.
Yeah, there were a couple of whiffs on sliders that I was like, that's not a slider.
That's not a slider.
Yeah, that's not a slider.
Yeah, no. It was even messing with Ryan Roland Smith in the booth. He was like, they said that's a slider, but
yeah.
No. Yeah. So, really, really cool return to the rotation for Gilbert. He gives up the home run to Roman Anthony, his first career home run. And then after getting 2 strikeouts in the 3rd inning, he gives up a triple to Jarren Duran. And then Abraham Toro is able to get to first on an infield single. Nice little play by Cole Young. Just wasn't able to get Toro out at first.
Yeah. Kind of bobbled it a little bit. I don't know if that would have mattered though.
Yeah.
But anyways, Logan last night, very good. Topped out at 97. sat 95, topped out at 98, sat 95, velo right where you wanted it to be. The velo on the slider and the curveball were both a full mile down. The velo on the splitter was a half a mile down. So velo, it's tough to say on breaking balls because sometimes that's by design. Fastball velo is really where you kind of look for areas of concern, and no, I didn't really see any concern there on the fastball velo. But what was really nice was to see the off speed arsenal that Logan threw out there. He threw not quite kitchen sink method here, but 38% four seam, 27 slider percent, 18% split, 10% curve. They gave him 6 sinkers. Like front hipping sinkers is not really Logan's thing, but whatever, doesn't matter. And all those pitches generated a ton of whiffs. Obviously, you have 21 whiffs on 48 swings. It's a 44% whiff rate. He threw 57 strikes on 84 pitches. Listen to this: 33% whiff rate on the four seamer. Anything over 30 is elite. 50% whiff on the slider. 56% whiff on the split. 67% whiff on the curveball, and he even got a swing and a miss on the sinker. So you look at, he just insane stuff last night, very close to Cy Gilbert, and he probably in another week or two probably goes and starts the 6 and probably gets through 6 and gives you that quality start. But he's on a pitch count this time out, and he looked very good all night long, and just, he took advantage of a bad lineup, and it's unfortunate that the Mariners lineup couldn't take advantage of bad pitching.
Yeah.
It's exhibit 1,000, 1 million, whatever, of why pitcher wins don't matter.
Right.
Whatsoever. Because Logan catches the L last night. He was the best player on the field for either team.
Yeah.
And he gets called a loser. Fun stuff. But Logan was spectacular last night. On a more macro level, this is kind of the first time through the Mariners rotation with it as healthy as it's going to be for a long time. And it was good. George was probably the weak link this time around. Well, Brian Wu starts tonight though. So kind of depends on when you want to start it, but whatever. Wu in Arizona, not that great, but he was okay. Kirby was okay. Luis, very good. Hancock, very good. Gilbert, very good. So the rotation is as close to 100% healthy as it's going to be. And obviously with Miller right now, Hancock is basically giving you Miller's production. So it's a wash. So finally the rotation is healthy and they're pitching like it. Like the rotation is actually starting to pitch better.
You have your 5 best guys right now.
Yeah. Yep. So that's not an excuse anymore. Also the bullpen for the last, bullpen for the last 4 games has been really good, and they haven't even used Munoz.
Yeah.
So, by the way, remember all those you can't use Munoz in the 8th because then you won't have him for tomorrow. And then Munoz has pitched, I think, once in the last 7 days.
Right.
I think Leo DeRocher, Hall of Fame manager, once said, never save a pitcher for tomorrow because it might rain.
Yeah. There you go. All right, so let's switch gears here. Let's talk about what's coming up tonight and tomorrow. We'll be recording after the game tomorrow, so 2 games will happen in between now and the next time you see us. We'll go over both of those pitching matchups in just a moment, but first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you by Open Phone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? No, you called the next one. That's why having a reliable business line is so important. And that's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. Open Phone is offering Locked On Mariners listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/lockedonmlb. That's openphone.com/LOCKEDONMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Again, that is openphone.com/lockedonmlb. Open Phone, No missed calls, no missed customers. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. So the Mariners, after last night, looking to get back on track, try and maintain some of the momentum that they built over the weekend with that sweep against the Guardians. Got Brian Wu on the bump tonight against Walker Buehler, then Luis Castillo tomorrow afternoon against Garrett Crochet. Mariners have actually handled Crochet pretty well the last couple times they've seen him, so hopefully they can keep that going. Sure. let's talk about Brian Wu first here, Colby. Been a rough couple outings for him the last 2 times out, giving up a couple of big home runs that have things in pretty significant direction for the other club. Pretty much cemented losses for the Mariners, but overall, I mean, he also has been given very little room for error by this offense. Surprise, surprise. So
sure, but I mean, like at the end of the day, he's given up 4 runs over 6 innings in his last 2 starts, and that's not good enough.
Sure. So yeah, so this should be a good opportunity for him to get back on track, right?
I mean, let's read the lineup from last night. This is the A lineup that the Red Sox can throw out there right now until they get Bregman, until they get Abreu back. Yeah. Jarren Duran. Okay.
Yeah.
Abraham Toro, Roman Anthony, Carlos Narvaez, who's having a nice year.
Yeah.
Marcelo,
by the way.
Yeah. Marcelo Mayer, Trevor Story, David Hamilton, Ceddanne Rafaela, Christian Campbell.
Yeah.
They have 3 guys in their lineup last night with OPSs over 700.
Yeah. A lot of good prospects, a lot of great prospects, a lot of elite prospects, right?
But a lot of guys who are like just now breaking into the big leagues or have done the whole thing where it's like, yeah, look how great they are for the first month. And then the league finds out how to pitch them. And now they're trying to come back out the other side, like the Ben Williamson thing, right? That's kind of where
I mean we've seen we've seen what's happened with Christian Campbell. Like he was red hot to start the year, and now I think his OPS is somewhere in like this high 600s.
I think the Mariners broke Campbell on the getaway day game.
Andres Munoz making his bat fly.
I think that talent was in that bat when it flew out of his hand because he's struggling right now. But obviously he's incredibly talented. So look,
got to him going 3 for 4 tonight.
Sure. I mean, the way Wu's pitching right now, maybe. The lineup is not good. The Red Sox team is not good. It really isn't.
And again, it just traded arguably its best hitter.
Right. I mean, but then again, they also traveled across the country last night, and you still were the team that came out flat.
Yeah.
So happens a lot for a guy who's great at the culture stuff. Just saying. See a lot of efforts like that over the last month for a guy who just the players love him and they love to play for him. Really? But anyways, yeah, it should be a good matchup for Brian, but we'll see. You know, it's kind of one of those things. Definitely the weakest lineup he's faced of the last couple starts, but again, Duran is a legit guy who's, just kind of playing okay right now. Toro's hot. Narvaez is hot. So there are some speed bumps here, but this is a lineup that Wu should handle. I guess the question is what Mariners offense shows up, the one we saw this weekend or the one we saw yesterday. Yep. So I don't know, but on paper, this is a good matchup for Brian Wu.
Yeah. And then I mentioned the Mariners have handled Garrett Crochet fairly well the last couple times I've seen him. They've gotten to him before he's been able to settle in. And that's really the important thing here. That's the recipe.
Once again, not the last time they saw him at T-Mobile, though.
No, not that time. But the most recent times that they've seen him in Chicago and then in Boston, they put up 4 apiece, I believe, right?
Yeah. Well, Chicago, I think they put up 5, but only like 2 of them were earned. But they got him out after like 3 1/3, 4 1/3, and then against Boston, I think did he go 6 full or 5 full? But I know he threw like 120 pitches.
They really frustrated him. I remember that.
He got a couple early,
clearly.
And then they really went to work on his pitch count. They fouled off a ton of pitches that day. But Crochet is really tough. Like, I think you enter the Crochet start expecting to lose that game as us, a fan. So tonight's pretty pivotal because if you lose, you're probably looking at a sweep and it's a 3-3 homestand. If you win, you secure a 4-2 homestand. and you give yourself a shot to go 5-1 and win a tiebreaker, secure a tiebreaker against the Red Sox, which might end up mattering because two things are true here. The Mariners are not a very good baseball team. I think we can say that right now. Maybe they will be, but right now they're not.
Ooh.
But there's only two really good baseball teams in the entire American League. So anything can happen.
Yeah.
So these tiebreakers against these mediocre teams like you're a mediocre team, they might actually matter. And if you get swept here, you lose that tiebreaker. If you go even, if you win tonight or tomorrow, then at least you've split the first tiebreaker. And then the second tiebreaker is like head to head in division or whatever. And the Mariners play their division pretty well. So it gives you a fighter shot there at least. But I think tonight is a pivotal game to secure a winning homestand before you take off on a road trip and you have your last off day in 2.5 weeks on Thursday. We have entered the time where the Mariners' schedule is no longer favorable. 17 days in a row, starting Friday.
Yep.
17 days in a row. You're playing a baseball game, and I think like 10 or 11 of those games are against like playoff teams right now. So
yeah, I mean it starts with 7 games against the Cubs and the Twins.
Yes. Yeah. So
like
this is why you really needed to go when you went 1-8. You really needed to go like 6-3 to buy yourself some margin of error. Now they don't. Now they have to go and they have to outplay the Cubs and they have to go outplay the Twins. So it'd be really nice if they could finish this homestand with some momentum before they get their last off day in a couple weeks and then they hit the road. They have after Thursday, so starting on Friday, they have one off day in the rest of the first half. And by the way, they finished the first half on the road, 3 against the Yankees, 3 against the Tigers, 3 against the Yankees.
Yeah. By the end of the 17-game stretch, it's hard to imagine we're going to have any more questions about who this team is and where they're going in 2025. So we'll get some answers here pretty soon.
The season is on the line right now.
All right, that's going to do it for our show. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Locked On Mariners podcast. For Colby Patnode, I'm Titan Gonzalez. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at LO_Mariners. You can follow me at Titan Gonzalez and Colby at CPAT11. That's CPAT11. We're also on Blue Sky. You can follow me at TDG, Colby at MLB Colby, and the show at Locked On Mariners. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Locked On Mariners. Have yourself a beautiful baseball day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.